Welcome back to Horn Africa Insight, your trusted lens on East Africa's fast-changing stories. Today, we spotlight 5 developments: Kenya's Khat exports, Ethiopia's massive GERD Lake, South Sudan's aviation ambitions, Egypt's military footprint in Somalia, and Puntland's election dispute with Mogadishu. Stay tuned, subscribe, and let's dive in. Kenya is racing to protect its billion-shilling Khat industry as regional competition heats up. President William Ruto is championing Meru County farmers, promising stable prices and new export routes to Somaliland and Jubaland. This comes after months of protests when middlemen drove prices down, forcing farmers to halt shipments. Nairobi responded with a grading system and adjusted taxes to restore order. But a bigger challenge looms: Ethiopian Khat. Since 2023, Ethiopia's cheaper, smuggled supply has dominated Somalia's markets, undercutting Kenya's producers. On August 29th, Mandera's governor even warned about Jubaland fighters crossing into Kenya, raising fears of instability along key Khat routes. With thousands of Kenyan farmers' livelihoods on the line, Nairobi faces pressure to secure Somalia's market share. Will Kenya's reforms and trade deals protect its Khat exports, or will Ethiopia's influence win out? Ethiopia's Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam has officially given birth to Lake Nigat, a vast artificial reservoir now ranking as Africa's 4th largest inland water body. Covering nearly 1,900 square kilometers with more than 70 islands, the lake is already reshaping Ethiopia's environment and economy. It regulates Nile floods, powers 5,150 megawatts of electricity, and supports growing fisheries, with potential catches of up to 15,000 tons per year. Yet Lake Nigat carries both promise and peril. Satellite images reveal seepage into surrounding aquifers, raising new scientific questions. Egypt sees the lake as a direct threat to its water security, while Ethiopia envisions tourism, fishery growth, and ecological value. Supporters hail it as a symbol of African innovation. Critics warn it could alter hydrology and even seismic patterns. Is Lake Nigat a new engine of prosperity for Ethiopia, or a flashpoint in the Nile dispute? South Sudan is reviving its aviation dreams through a major partnership with Ethiopian Airlines. Talks in Juba on August 27th built on a 2023 agreement, granting Ethiopian Airlines a 49% stake in South Sudan's planned national carrier. The deal promises professional training, technical management, and international routes for Africa's youngest nation, still without a national airline since independence. But aviation is only one part of the puzzle. On August 20th, Juba and Djibouti signed a trade corridor deal with new river ports linking South Sudan to Djibouti's port. If realized, the plan could position South Sudan as a logistics hub for regional trade. Still, questions linger over infrastructure, security, and funding. Can this bold partnership lift South Sudan's aviation and trade ambitions? Or will internal challenges clip its wings? Egypt is stepping onto Somalia's battlefield. On August 25th, a 16-member advance team landed in Johar to prepare for deploying artillery units and drones under the AU's AWSOM mission. Cairo joins a force already composed of Kenyan, Ugandan, Ethiopian, Djiboutian, and Burundian troops. Somalia hopes Egypt's involvement will strengthen the fight against al-Shabaab in central regions. But the move is controversial. Ethiopia's ambassador in Mogadishu labeled Egypt's role suspicious, citing long-standing Nile tensions between Addis Ababa and Cairo.
Ethiopia cannot be threatened by the presence of Egyptian troops in Somalia.
Analysts warn the Horn risks importing GERD-related rivalries into Somalia's fragile peacekeeping mission. Will Egypt's presence enhance AWSOM's fight against al-Shabaab or ignite new rivalries that weaken the mission from within? Puntland has fired a political warning shot at Mogadishu. In a September 1st statement, the state accused President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud of violating Somalia's provisional constitution by manipulating electoral processes ahead of his May 2026 mandate deadline. Puntland urged national dialogue and threw its weight behind the National Salvation Forum, a coalition calling for Mohamud to step aside. This clash comes as Somalia faces pressure to finalize election rules, clarify party roles, and balance power between federal states and the presidency. Puntland fears Mogadishu's overreach will undermine political reform and inclusivity. So far, Somalia's presidency has remained silent. Will dialogue heal the rift and safeguard Somalia's 2026 elections, or will constitutional disputes deepen the political divide? From Kenya's contested Khat markets to Puntland's political challenge, the Horn of Africa is alive with transformation and tension. Which of these stories will shape the region's future most? Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more updates, and follow us on X for daily insights. Horn Africa Insight, your window into East Africa's unfolding story.